Imagine being a dolphin. Your life depends on an impossible choice. Stay awake to breathe, or sleep and risk drowning. So evolution found a compromise. You sleep with half your brain at a time. One eye stays open. Every 8 minutes, you burst to the surface, grab air, and sink back down. For you, sleep isn't rest. It's a never-ending night shift where part of your mind must always stand guard. Now think about your own nights. You reckless, blessed creature, you surrender completely. Your breath keeps time like a faithful metronome. Your heart beats its steady drum. Meanwhile, your consciousness vanishes like steam from a cup. You don't control this miracle. You simply trust it. Isn't it strange? While dolphins fight for every breath in their fractured sleep, you, wrapped in blankets, are kept alive by an ancient program. Some primal part of your brain, older than language, flips the switch again and again without asking. But here's the question that haunts scientists and shamans alike. Who's really in charge when you sleep? Your brainstem does the mechanical work, that much we know. But why then do all cultures tell stories of the night? The Egyptians spoke of the Ba soul flying from the nostrils. Norse tales described dream-wandering Huger. Today, sleep paralysis victims report shadowy overseers sitting on their chests. We're caught between worlds, not dolphins with their half-sleep, not yogis mastering their breath, but ordinary humans who sometimes wake inside dreams. Like dolphins, we surface just enough to think, this is a dream, before sinking back. Like yogis, we occasionally touch the truth. We're not breathing, we're being breathed. The masters of Yoga Nidra know this secret. They train to rest awake, body asleep, mind floating like a leaf on a pond. In that space between, they whisper, "You are not the breath. You are the stillness between breaths, the silence beneath the gasp." Tonight, as you fall asleep, picture the dolphin's watchful eye. Then ask yourself, what if your true self isn't the sleeper or the breath, but the vast, dark ocean they move through? Deep in your brainstem lives a tiny conductor, the pre-Butzinger complex. This cluster of cells keeps your breath going like a perfect clock. It works whether you're awake, asleep, or even in a coma. Try holding your breath until you pass out, and this little boss will take over, forcing you to breathe again. It's been doing this job for 300 million years, unchanged since our lizard ancestors. When you sleep, your breathing changes like the tides. Deep sleep brings slow, rolling waves of breath, your body's repair mode. But during dreams, your breath gets choppy, mimicking wakefulness while your body lies paralyzed. That's why you don't act out dreams. Scientists think this might be your brain running emergency drills. We humans got lucky in evolution. Dolphins must stay half awake to breathe. We traded vigilance for deep, healing sleep. The cost? Complete vulnerability. A sleeping human can't fight or flee. Our breath becomes the only thread holding us to life. Here's something magical to try. As you drift off tonight, focus on your breath. There's a precise moment when you stop controlling it. When conscious you steps aside. Most miss it by milliseconds, but if you catch it, you'll feel the exact instant your body takes over. It's like letting go of a bicycle's handlebars and feeling invisible hands grab them. This handoff happens because your brain has two breathing systems. One you control, one that controls you. The switch between them is so flawless we barely notice, unless you're a baby who sometimes forgets to breathe, or have sleep apnea, where the system glitches. Modern life fights these natural rhythms. Alarm clocks cut sleep short. Screens trick our brains into daytime mode. We've become strangers to our own breath. Yet every night, like the tides, it returns to its ancient rhythm. The real mystery isn't how it works, but why we're allowed to forget about this miracle happening under our noses. In 2002, something impossible happened in a Tibetan monastery. Monk Kelsang Chupal died, or so it seemed. For 17 days, his body didn't decay. No smell, no stiffness. His heart stayed warm. Buddhists call this tukdam, when advanced meditators stay in deep contemplation after death. Harvard scientists rushed to study this phenomenon. Their EEG machines showed no brain activity, yet his body defied all normal decay processes. It was as if some part of him was still present, preserving the body past biological limits. This echoes near-death experiences where people report vivid awareness despite no measurable brain function. Some scientists theorize these practitioners enter a state resembling extreme hibernation, but conscious. Their metabolism drops below detection, while some form of awareness remains. What does this mean for sleep? If consciousness can exist without breath after death, what's happening when we sleep? Maybe we're not unconscious, just experiencing a different kind of awareness. Yogis have long claimed this, speaking of the sleeping witness, the part that watches you dream. Modern labs are now testing these ideas. At the University of Wisconsin, researchers found that expert meditators can enter sleep-like states while maintaining awareness. Their brain scans show unique patterns, neither fully awake nor asleep, but somewhere in between. Consider sleepwalkers who make sandwiches or drive cars while unconscious, or people under anesthesia who later recall conversations. These edge cases suggest consciousness isn't an on-off switch, but a dimmer, with breath as one visible marker among many. The monk's story forces us to ask, is sleep the little death poets speak of? Or is it a secret doorway to states we're only beginning to understand? One thing's certain, the relationship between breath, brain, and awareness is far stranger than science once believed. Every culture whispers the same night truth. Breath is the thread between worlds. The ancient Egyptians painted souls as birds flying from sleeping noses. Taoist masters practiced fetal breathing, soft as an unborn child's. Celtic myths warned of a silver cord connecting dream wanderers to their bodies, as thin and vital as a breath. These stories share a chilling insight. When we sleep, our breath becomes a bridge, and bridges can be crossed both ways. Malaysian legends tell of the Pontianak, a vampire who steals breath from open mouths. Navajo elders speak of skinwalkers mimicking voices to lure sleepers into breathless traps. Even our modern alien abduction tales feature paralyzed victims struggling to breathe. Science now confirms what folklore knew. Sleep does make us vulnerable. Sleep apnea literally pauses breathing. Night terrors choke screams in throats. Our ancestors weren't wrong, just poetic. That evil presence pressing your chest during sleep paralysis? Modern labs show it's your brain misreading paralysis as an attacker. The shadowy figure by your bed? Often just your own dreaming body, projected outward by a confused brain. Yet the poetry remains. Whether neurons or night hags, the message is clear. Breath in sleep is sacred territory. The rituals prove it, from Egyptian amulets guarding nostrils to Tibetan monks sleeping upright to keep airways open. We've always known on some level, the night breath isn't fully ours. It belongs to whatever watches in the dark, be it brainstem, spirit, or the silent self that never sleeps. That feeling of waking paralyzed with something crouching on your chest is humanity's oldest nightmare. In Japan, they call it kanashibari, bound by spirits. In Newfoundland, it's the old hag sitting on dreamers. Brazil's pisadeira tramples heavy sleepers. The details never vary. Pressure, evil, suffocation. Science explains the mechanics. During REM sleep, your brain paralyzes muscles to prevent dream acting. If you wake before paralysis fades, you'll find yourself trapped in your own body. The presence, likely your amygdala, fear center, screaming into the void, while your parietal lobe, which locates your body, misfires, creating an other in the room. But why do these hallucinations follow the same script across millennia? University studies show 76% of paralysis victims report a menacing figure, chest pressure, the sense of being watched. Whether they've heard the folklore or not, this consistency haunts researchers. Some theorize these visions are hardwired, like an evolutionary warning system glitching. Others suggest sleep paralysis opens a door to shared psychic spaces. The truth? We still don't know why the sleeping brain conjures these particular terrors, only that they feel more real than reality. Perhaps these watchers are guardians of the threshold, neural bouncers reminding us, you're not meant to be conscious here. Or maybe, as Tibetan Buddhists believe, they're glimpses of other realms normally filtered out. Either way, one thing's certain. When the veil between sleep and waking thins, something looks back. Here's sleep's beautiful secret. Every night, you dissolve. Your thoughts, your worries, your precious I, all vanish. Yet your breath continues, steady as tides, proving you were never really in charge to begin with. Dolphins resist this surrender. Yogis chase it. But you? You're the lucky one, floating between worlds without effort. Your body knows the truth. You're not the diver holding your breath, nor the dolphin keeping watch. You're the ocean they move through. Science maps the mechanics, the brainstem's rhythm, the dance of neurons. But the deeper mystery remains. Who witnesses your dreams? Who carries memories between nights? When patients with amnesia hum forgotten songs in their sleep, where does the music live? Perhaps consciousness isn't what we think. Not a light switched off in sleep, but a sun hidden behind clouds. The yogis point to this when they speak of the sleeping witness. Not the breath, not the dreams, but what watches both come and go. Tonight, as you drift off, try this. Instead of chasing sleep, let sleep chase you. Feel that moment when you step aside and something older takes the wheel. That's the real you, the vast, quiet dark where breaths rise and fall like waves on a shore that doesn't exist. After all, the ocean doesn't need to remember it's wet. The sky doesn't try to be blue. And you? You don't need to breathe your breath, only to let it breathe you.